Good evening, everyone. And for attendance purposes, I see everyone here except Councillor Williams. I've got some opening remarks. The public meeting is being heard by the City Council Planning Advisory Committee, and public notice has been given in accordance with the Planning Act. The non-elected members of the Planning Advisory Committee are Mr. John Baltutis, Mr. David Joyce, Ms. Catherine Brown, and Mr. Paul Jennings. Citizen appointees may ask questions and participate in the discussion in order to assist in making recommendations to City Council, but may not make motions or vote in connection with the public meeting. If a person or public body does not make oral submissions at a public meeting or make written submissions to the Planning Committee or City Council before the bylaws pass, the person or public body is not entitled to appeal the decision of City Council or the local planning appeal board. If a person or public body does not make oral submissions at a public meeting or make written submissions to the City of Belleville before the related bylaws pass, the person or public body may not be added as a party to the hearing of an appeal before the local planning appeal tribunal, unless in the opinion of the tribunal there are reasonable grounds to add the person or public body as a party. Comments received at this public meeting, as well as written comments, will be considered by the Engineering and Development Services Department in analysis of the applications that were part of the public meeting tonight. A recommendation report will be brought forward upon receipt of all agency and public comments in the future. Any persons wishing to be advised of the Belleville Planning Advisory Committee's recommendations with respect to today's applications are requested to leave their name and address on the appropriate notification sheet located on the, like this, that's normally for the clipboard. If you were here in person, to just register at planning@belleville.ca. Okay, any disclosure of pecuniary interest? Seeing none, public meeting 3.1, notice of complete application, an introductory public meeting for application for proposed amendment to zoning bylaw number 10-245 as amended, 81 South George Street, City of Belleville, County of Hastings, file numbers B-77-1118. Owner applicant is Tilbro Property Management, Paul Tilley, agent is Watson Land Surveyors. Who's presenting the application?
Mr. Chair?
Okay, there you go.
Hi.
Sorry about that. Too many
No,
faces
that's
in
okay.
the crowd here. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The subject land is known as 81 South George Street and is zoned residential second density with special provisions and designated city center in the official plan. Subject land has approximately 18.53 meters in lot frontage and is presently vacant. The rezoning is a condition of consent application B13-20, which severed the subject land into two parcels. The proposal is to rezone both the severed and the retained parcels to residential third density zone, and this would be in order to facilitate the construction of a single-story, semi-detached dwelling unit. At the time of writing the report, staff had not received any correspondence from the public. As of today, we've received one submission with questions regarding the proposal. Staff have received comments from Environmental Services Department that the subject lands are located in the shallow soils notice area and are within the radius of the water treatment facility, and these are noted. With that, I will turn it back to you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. I believe we have Mr. Watson.
Good evening.
Good evening. Mr. Watson, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I'm just here to support the application. It's a vacant lot. They had approval to sever and split it in two to build a semi, and we're here just to follow up for the rezoning.
Okay. Any questions of Mr. Watson? Mr. Baltutis.
Just for clarification, Mr. Watson, is it they're severing the lot and they're going to build a new or propose to build a dwelling on one side of the severed lots, or is
there'll be a building in the middle of the property, and when we sever it, we'll sever it down the party wall, or in this case, we'll build the party wall on the severed lot, on the severed line. Sorry.
So there'll be, when it's finished, there'll be two separate, like a townhouse type of.
Yes, semi. Yeah.
That's correct. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Any other questions? Yeah, Mr. Joyce.
So just to carry, it was the original, it was a single building there before. Did it like burn down or got torn down, or what was originally there? I drove by and it's just an empty field now.
It was so in such disrepair that they tore it down, demolished it, and now they're going to build a new townhouse there, or semi, sorry.
Excuse me, same owners that are doing it?
New owners who purchased that property. And
I see, and they're going to do it. Are they planning on living in either of the townhouse or just rent it
I'm
out?
not sure. I think it's strictly for rental or sale purposes.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, thank you, Mr. Watson.
Thank you.
Just checking, Mr. Clerk, that's all we have speaking for. Okay. All right, so I'll get a motion to refer Councillor Kelly, seconded by Councillor Sanderson. Thank you. All in favor? That motion carries. Thank you. And I need a motion to adjourn this portion of the meeting. Councillor Culhane, seconded by Councillor Sanderson. All in favor? That motion is carried. So moving on to Plan Advisory Committee. Note Councillor Williams is absent. Any disclosure or pecuniary interest in general nature thereof? Seeing none, confirmation of the minutes of the City Council Planning Committee meeting and Planning Advisory Committee meeting held August 4th, 2020. Moved by Mr. Joyce, seconded by Councillor Sanderson. All in favor? That motion is carried. Thank you. We have no correspondence, Mr. Clerk? No, thank you. Referrals from the public meeting. Notice of complete application, introductory public meeting for application for proposed amendment to zoning bylaw number 10245 as amended, 81 South George Street, City of Belleville, County of Hastings, file numbers B-77-1118. Applicant owner is Tilbrook Property Management. Paul Tilley, agent is Watson Land Surveyors. Principal planners report number PP-2020-43 refers. The resolution reads that report number PP-2020-43 dated September 8th, 2020 regarding the notice of complete application and introductory public meeting for application for proposed amendment to zoning bylaw number 10245 as amended, 81 South George Street, City of Belleville, County of Hastings be received as information, and that staff report back at such time as input from the public, commenting agencies and municipal departments has been received, assessed, and addressed to the satisfaction of the Engineering and Development Services Department. The motion, Councillor Culhane, Ms. Brown, any questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor? That motion is carried. Moving on to reports. Recommendation report for proposed amendment to zoning bylaw number 3014 as amended, 1243 Zion Road, City of Belleville, County of Hastings, file numbers B-77-1114. Agent is Keith Watson, Watson Land Surveyors. Applicant is Brian and Andrea Sills. Owner is Brian, Andrea Jeffrey, and Darlene Sills. Policy planners report number PP-2020-44. And the resolution reads that the Plan Advisory Committee recommends the following to City Council. That zoning bylaw number 3014 as amended be amended by rezoning the retained parcel located in the prime agriculture PA zone, the prime agricultural PA zone with special provisions to prohibit future residential development, and rezone the Severn parcel from prime agricultural PA zone to rural residential RR zone to permit the existing residential use. Somebody can move that. Mr. Jennings, Councillor Kelly, any questions or comments? Councillor Sanderson.
Yeah, thank you. Through the chair, in the change that's coming forward, what would be the benefit or requirement to prohibit future residential development as part of the special provisions?
Through you, Mr. Chair, but I can answer this question. Basically, what we do in adding that provision is to prevent the further fragmentation of prime agricultural land. So in terms of provincial policy and also policy in our official plan, what we do permit is limited surplus residential severances on properties such as this one. However, it's not the intent to permit further severances for residential purpose, thereby limiting residential development on the retained parcel. It could prevent that future request to sever another residential house off of that prime agricultural land. So again, it really is to prevent the further fragmentation of prime agricultural zoned property.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries. 7.2, recommendation report for proposed amendment to zoning bylaw for 3014 as amended, 288A and 288B Pine Hill Crescent, City of Belleville, County of Hastings, file numbers B-77-1116. Owners Thomas and Kathy Reed, applicant is Peter Reed. Principal planners report number PP-2020-45 refers, and the resolution reads that the Planning Advisory Committee recommends the following to City Council: that zoning bylaw number 3014 as amended be amended by rezoning a portion of the subject land described as 288A and 288B Pine Hill Crescent from RU Rural Zone to RR Rural Residential Zone as condition of consent application B28-19. Mr. Joyce, Mr. Baltutis, any questions or comments on that? All in favor? Motion carries. Moving on to information items, official plan and zoning bylaw amendment, monitoring report, report to September 8th, 2020. I need a motion to receive that. Mr. Baltutis, Brown, any questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries. General business inquiries. Seeing none, closing remarks. The Planning Advisory Committee's applicable decisions will be forwarded to City Council for consideration, forming part of the agenda for the City Council meeting to be held at a future date. And with that, I'll get a motion to adjourn. Councillor Culhane, Mr. Baltutis, all in favor? That motion carries. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.